SGT Discovery Kids, and welcome back to GNN, where every week we keep you informed on what God is teaching us in His Word. I'm Miss Jessica.
And I'm Mr. Hattie. We're studying how God brought the Israelites to a mountain called Mount Sinai to make a covenant with them and let them be His people so He would be their God.
That's right. And we learned last week that God asked Moses to show His covenant to the people to see if they would be willing to be God's people. The people said yes, and then God called Moses back up the mountain to speak with him some more. But after 40 days, Moses returned to bring the tablets of the covenant God had given him to the people. So Moses took the tablets God had given him down the mountain to the people, but he did not like what he found.
While Moses and Joshua had been up on the mountain with God receiving the covenant, the people got tired of waiting and wanted to begin to worship another God. Even though God had provided for them all along, they began to be selfish and only think of themselves. They asked Aaron, the brother of Moses, to make them a golden calf as an idol to worship instead of God. They were acting more like the Egyptians who had enslaved them than they were like God's people.
When Moses saw the rebellion of the people, he threw down the tablets that God had given him, and they broke in pieces. He yelled at the people for their unfaithfulness and asked God to forgive them. God forgave the people and showed them even more how faithful of a God He was.
The people had only been God's people for a couple of weeks when the temptations of the world and the flesh made them rebel against God. They really thought that an idol they made with their hands would save them more than God could.
It may sound silly to you thinking about worshiping a golden calf, but in our lives, we put our trust in other things. Maybe you put your trust in the money you have, or the grades you get, or your sports or musical abilities. These are things we care about and put a lot of energy and time into, just like the people of Israel did with the golden calf. But these things cannot save us. Only God alone is faithful and true. We're going to learn more about this now in the verse of the week with Mr. Hattie.
Thanks, Miss Jessica. This week's verse is found from 1 John chapter 5, verse 21. And it says, "Dear children, keep yourselves from idols." God had never wanted His people to put their trust in things they couldn't save them. Only God can save and truly bless. He wanted His people to look to Him, trust Him alone with all of their hearts. When we do this today, God still is faithful to His promises. Well, that's all for the verse of the week, and now to our Animal of the Week segment with Miss Jessica.
Thanks, Mr. Hattie. This week's animal can get up and walk soon after being born and drinks a lot of milk from its mother. Do you know what it is? If you said the calf, then you're right. Calf is the name we give to a baby cow. Cows are bred to produce either milk or beef, but the babies of both are called calves. When calves grow up, they eat a lot of grass every day and digest that grass in 4 different stomachs. Cows chew all day, and most of the time they are chewing grass from one stomach called cud in order to send it to the next stomach. This is where we get the phrase, chewing the cud. Many ancient civilizations thought that cows represented life and fertility. They have been seen as holy in many religions, but God was showing His people that nothing was holy apart from Him. Let's be sure to keep our eyes on God alone and put our faith in things that cannot save. That's all for the Animal of the Week, and now back to our newsroom.
That wraps up things for us here on the Gospel News Network. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again right here next week. God bless you, and remember, be blessed.
And be a blessing.